Hey everyone, it's Andrew. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a video doing an unboxing, review, and first time taste test of the MyProtein Pea Protein Powder in the Chocolate Stevia flavor, which is in this box right here. In this box, about 13 pounds of protein powder. I ended up purchasing this after my prior protein powder ran out and I couldn't find a suitable replacement. And so I kind of shopped around, came across the MyProtein website, and actually found their Pea Protein to be 50% off, which cost about like $41 for a 5.5 pound bag. And so in order to qualify for free shipping, I ended up getting 13 pounds of this because I'm super frugal. And so what we'll do in this video is I'll take it out of the box, we'll go over the nutritional content of the actual protein powder, we'll go over the ingredients, then I'll walk through the kind of like a taste test of how well it tastes, so you get feedback as far as whether you want to get 13 pounds or even 5.5 pounds of this. But as always, if you're interested in potentially purchasing this, I'll leave links in the description below. Additionally, there's going to be a promotional code below for 30% off if you're interested in potentially purchasing it. All right, so here's the mysterious box with all the protein powder in it. I ended up getting this box in about like 2 days through their website, so it was super quick, super fast. And we'll just pull out kind of everything in here. So there should be 2 5.5 pound bags, and then there's going to be one 2.2 pound bag, and that's exactly what you see. And so all of it's going to be the exact same type of protein powder. So it's going to be the My Vegan Pea Protein Isolate. These are their 5.5 pound bags, and it's going to be the Chocolate Stevia flavor. And basically these two bags are identical, and then this one's a 2.2 pound bag of it. As far as cost or how I got it, it was 50% off, so it ended up being about like $42 for each of these two bags. And then in order to qualify for free shipping, I ended up adding this bag for about $18. So it's about $100 for everything in here. And so what I'll do is I'll set up the camera, we'll go over kind of the nutritional content and the ingredients so you get an understanding of that now. All right, so as far as the packaging, there's not much beyond the actual front of the bag, so we'll just go over the nutritional content. So this is for the 5.5 pound bag. As far as the number of servings in the 5.5 pound bag, there's going to be 1 scoop is equivalent to 1 serving, and there's 83 servings total. It's going to be 100 calories per serving, 0.5 grams of fat, 0 cholesterol. That's important because it's a plant-based protein powder. So if you look at whey protein as compared to plant, whey protein powder typically has a lot more cholesterol, so that's something you always want to look at on the ingredients and you always have to worry about. So plant-based won't have any cholesterol, but one thing you do want to watch out for with plant-based is the sodium content. So when you shop around, the sodium content per serving can drastically differ. So this one's going to be 350 milligrams. But when I've looked at other nutritional content for protein powders like pea protein and stuff, some of them have upwards of 700 milligrams of salt per serving. So you have to be very cognizant of that, because if you use upwards of like 2, 3, 4 scoops or servings per day, that's way more than your typical sodium required in your diet. As far as carbohydrates, it's 5 grams, 4 of which is going to be from dietary fiber. Okay, no added sugars or anything like that. And then there's going to be 20 grams of protein per scoop or per serving in this container. Then as far as vitamins, it's 40 milligrams of calcium, 6.2 milligrams of iron. For those of you that are vegan or vegetarian, this is very, very important because iron is very difficult to get in a diet that's vegetarian or vegan. So the fact that this has 6.2 milligrams that's a high quantity of iron, and so that's a good quantity to have. And then lastly, 160 milligrams of potassium. So that's it as far as the nutritional content here. As far as the ingredients here, it says pea protein, natural flavoring, which encompasses cocoa powder processed with alkali, natural flavor, salt, stevia leaf extract, xanthan gum, which is basically a fiber, and guar gum. There's no other preservatives, nothing like that. It does warn you that it does contain soy, which I don't know how it would have that. And then for directions, it says add 1 scoop to 6 to 8 ounces of water or milk in a MyProtein shaker, and then consume immediately. And then it says storage, it doesn't have to be refrigerated, and then you can reseal the container. One thing that I do want to warn you is that at least based on the reviews online, the containers for the MyProtein protein powders are kind of iffy with the Ziploc container. So a lot of reviews are kind of hit or miss on that. So we'll have to see with that. I've never used this before, but we'll kind of see. But that's it for the protein powder. The nutritional content be the same for the others. So what we'll do now is we'll test this out, taste it, and kind of see whether it's worth having 13 pounds of this around. Okay, so for the sake of the taste test, I'm going to use the 2.2 pound bag so I don't get stuck opening a 5.5 pound bag and end up not liking it. But this is what it looks like. I opened it already because I had to fish out the scoop because it was stuck at the bottom and I didn't want to make a mess. But the protein powder itself, this is the size of the scoop. One thing, sorry, it's off camera. One thing is pea protein is much more kind of like powdery and less of a thick consistency as compared to whey protein. So that's something that's very normal. So if you look at this, it's like basically like the consistency of cocoa powder. It's like very fluffy. Be very careful with this container because it'll like spray out across the air. But what they recommend is basically putting one of these scoops per 8 ounces. I have 16 ounces of water in here, so I'm going to put one scoop and then we're going to put another scoop. Okay. And for this, I'm just going to do it this way, and then we'll throw on the lid here and then shake it up. And usually pea protein at least has a different texture than whey protein. It's going to be much more like sandy and kind of like fibrous as far as the protein powder. So it's a little bit different for those of you that have never tried it. So a lot of people complain about that when they first try it, but that's anticipated because it's pea protein as compared to whey protein. So that's that. And then what we'll do is just show you what it looks like. So after shaking it, this is what it looks like. So the consistency of like chocolate milk, there's no chunks or anything like that in it. And it's basically like just mixed together after mixing it for like 20 seconds. So I'm going to taste this out. So I'll say that it's not horrible, it's not great. To be honest, I'm not going to complain about this. There is that texture from pea protein. It does taste like chocolate, it does taste like a stevia flavor, kind of like processed from like the chocolate stevia aspect. But there's not really a bad aftertaste or anything. I don't really have any immediate complaints tasting it. So let me get one more sip. So yeah, I have no complaints about this. With water, it tastes fine, no issues. I'd say if you mix it with chocolate, like almond milk, it'll probably taste a little bit sweeter and better. But there's nothing as far as like complaints as far as the overall taste or anything like that. So if you look at the reviews on MyProtein's website, there's a lot of mixed reviews for this protein powder. Based on my personal experience and kind of like the taste immediately with this, I don't have any major complaints. I have 13 pounds of this, so I'm going to go through it. And for 20 grams of protein per scoop or per serving, this is more than plenty enough protein. And it came out to about 43 cents per serving, which is like a quarter or like even a third of the price of any other protein powder on the market. So I highly recommend this. This video is really just to give you a sense of how it tasted, the texture, kind of the consistency as far as that. One thing I did want to mention is immediately when I noticed these containers are very poor for sealing, so like really it's like the equivalent of a Ziploc bag. Like you really have to line this up and press on it to get it closed. So that's one complaint I'll have about this, is the fact that like if you're using this on a regular basis, the container should really close more easily. Like I can't even get this closed and I've tried multiple attempts. Like they should really sort that out. So if it was a nicer container as far as sealing, getting that like even like one of those Ziplocs that like slide across, it would be better than this. But that's probably the biggest complaint about this. As far as the taste, it's kind of like it tastes like chocolate, it tastes like stevia, it kind of tastes like a little bit of pea background, but I don't have any major complaints. There's a little bit of a texture to it. So try it out. They do offer samplers of this, so if you want to just try out one of their samplers, try out one of the samples, see if you like the taste corresponds with what you're looking for before you kind of like commit to buying this much, as far as like 5.5 pound bags or even 11 pounds or 13 pounds like I did. But it was super cheap, super affordable. If you have questions, comments, post them below. But hopefully this video is helpful for those of you that are looking at the MyProtein website or looking at alternative vegetarian, vegan, or just protein powder in general. So hopefully this video helped. If you have questions, comments, post them below. Otherwise, if you can subscribe to my channel, definitely subscribe.